My stepsister steals my husband. Yep, and then she tries to take my baby when I get her back. And you won't believe how this one ends. Let me start from the beginning because this is one of the craziest stories, well, of all time.
I can't believe this is what my life has come to. I'm still shaken by the events of the past few days, so excuse me if I seem incoherent or making mistakes. I don't know where to start or to end, so if I'm writing and it seems incoherent or inconsistent, forgive me. I'm 31 female and I've been married to my high school sweetheart Murphy for approximately a decade. Together for 13 years. Life was, or so I thought, good. I had a good high-paying job with insurance while he was a chef in a restaurant, trying to chase his dream of becoming a streamer. I know people might have issues with that career choice, but I loved him, and like any other loving spouse, I wanted to have it all for him. Our families were very well connected with each other, and they loved us together and separately. See, we lived with my mom, Claudia, and stepfather, Ben, and his daughters. Bella for the first year of the marriage, but my parents moved to a different state due to some reasons. I have a very good relationship with my mother-in-law and his family, too. Lately, we've gone through a rough patch. We thought it was finally time to have children and start, settling down. But after months and a lot of negative testing, we went to the doctors who told us I had issues in conceiving. Consequently, I went into depressive state for a while. I was withdrawn and numb for a month or so. During this time, Murphy drifted away from me, and he stopped coming home all the time and just went to sleep on the sofa most of the nights he was here, and even hesitated while giving a kiss to me. This all added to my depression, obviously, and we started to fight. When Bella, my stepsister, heard that we were having problems, she volunteered to come help me. I was grateful and did not think much of it. A little about her. See, Bella and I were close growing up. She's younger than me, and I think it's one of the prettiest girls I know. With her blonde hair and slim waist, she has guys absolutely dying for her. Well, me, on the other hand, is what people call a good personality. I'm not conventionally attractive or have very feminine features, but before all this, I was fine with myself. I had a husband who loved me, and I thought that was good enough. And I was never, ever jealous of Bella or any of those younger girls. I've seen her grow from a baby up to a very nice young lady. And the same goes for Murphy. We used to send her gifts, and she wanted to go on Europe for a trip a few years ago, and I paid for it, just so she could achieve the dreams I didn't get to do when I was young. I did not consult Murphy, and surprisingly, he was fine with her living at our place. Things were tense between us, but I saw Murphy lit up whenever Bella was around. He started doing his chores again, trimmed his raggedy beard, and was home earlier than usual. I don't think much about it because who in their right mind would suspect something was going on between my husband and my sister? Well, one day, I came back from work early and found my husband and my stepsister in a very intimate position. I think I was shell-shocked, and everything faded in front of me except for them. They were not expecting to see me, so my husband ran towards me while my sister was frantically covering herself. I didn't look back at them and just ran to the bathroom where I puked my gut up. I felt disgust crawling in me. My husband and my sister, huh? It was a betrayal of the worst. When I came back to the room, Bella's hair was disheveled and the image of my husband's hands and her hair had popped up in my brain again. I don't remember what exactly happened next, but I screamed at both of them till I lost my voice. And the kicker here was that my husband was defending her while my sister was silently sitting on the bed listening to everything. It was as if I was seeing him for the first time. He wasn't the same cute, charming guy I fell in love with in third period chemistry. He was somebody else. A cheater, a manipulator, and a disgusting human being, thankfully. I had enough consciousness left in me to take out my phone and take a picture of them semi-naked. I then sent the picture to both of our families immediately and told the news of these new little lovebirds to get out of my house or else I'll call the cops for trespassing. Bella intervened, but Murphy stopped her and said something along the lines of, "We'll come back once she calms down a bit." Yeah, you wish. They both left after that, and surprisingly, I was able to hold on to tears until they left. But the sudden silence and chaos of my life hit me at once. I broke down crying on the kitchen floor, and I don't know for how long I stayed that way. My saint of a mother-in-law, Margaret, found me crying on the floor. When I woke up the next day, my mother, Claudia, was present along with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. I'm not proud, but I had a mental breakdown that day, and the only thing I remembered was tearing the bedsheets and pillows into pieces. I had to spend the night in the ER, and it was awful. The next day, my mother sat me down and ripped the Band-Aid off. Basically, I was pregnant with that jerk's child. I'm not a Catholic, but I have prayed for this news for as long as I can remember. And the irony was that when I wanted nothing to do with my ex, I was growing a new life that directly linked me to him. I didn't sleep a wink that night, and I think it was when I decided that I would keep my baby. The life I was growing in my belly was not a burden. It was a blessing for me, a new chapter in my life. Well, fast forward just a few more months. I delivered a healthy and very angry baby girl. I named her Lily after my favorite flower, and the labor wasn't long, but it was painful. Thankfully, my mother was by my side while Margaret was outside in the hallway. They both took me to the hospital, and not once I felt scared. My ex was informed of the labor, but he chose not to come, and I'm grateful for that. I saw him twice or thrice at the doctor's appointments during the pregnancy along with Margaret, and we barely spoke or anything, and it was just him trying to open up new topics to talk about. Honestly, when I saw him again for the first time, I felt nothing. I wasn't even angry anymore, I was just numb, and all my focus was on my baby. Anyways, things were mostly fine. I was trying to cope with my new life when it all flipped upside down, and after my maternity leave ended, I went back to work, but my bosses allowed me to work from home 2 days a week because of my situation. One normal evening, I went to work when I got the call that somebody was here to see me. I went out to see Bella with tears streaming down her eyes, wearing old raggedy clothing. I think I did a 180-degree turn seeing her there, but my colleagues were watching us, so I had to go back, and I took her outside and she started crying in my arms, apologizing over and over again, and I was shocked and honestly surprised seeing how broken she looked. I know, you would have been hoping that I would serve some cold bad punchline to her and leave her. I couldn't do it. I took her out to get some coffee, and she told me everything there. From the lies that my husband told her to portray himself as a victim stuck in a loveless marriage, claiming that she was his other half, and she genuinely seemed remorseful, and when I asked what she planned to do now, she replied that she had left for good. Apparently, they had a fight over money issues, and there she said that how she regretted getting with him at all. After that, Murphy threw a plate at her. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt, but the plate did shatter her trust and love. See, no matter how much hurt this girl has caused me, at the moment she was with my little sister. I didn't forgive her right away, but I did offer her to stay at my place for the night. After that, she'll have to do something for living arrangements because while I'm taking pity on her. Yeah, I definitely still remember all the pain that she caused me. She understood, and I took her back to my place. She wanted to meet the baby because she never have seen Lily, but I told her I didn't feel comfortable enough yet, and she was sad, but she understood. The next morning when she woke up, I was already dressed for the day and about to do breakfast when she offered to make me some. I rejected the idea and told her it wasn't needed and I would appreciate it if she would just leave. She begged me to give her more time, just more than a day. She offered that for the time I was out of the house, she could leave, but she would still need to come back. She then called me by the name she used to call me when we were kids, and my heart broke. I agreed to let her stay one more night, but she was to stay out until I came back. She tried to hug me, but I stopped her, and a few minutes later, she left for God knows where. I left too, and as soon as my nanny arrived, and for the rest of the day, I just thought about my innocent Bella. That is, until I got a call from my nanny, Kim, crying, begging for me to come home. My gut was screaming at me that something had gone horribly wrong, so I drove back as soon as I could. When I got there, the cops were by my apartment and Kim was crying and telling them something. When I saw her face, I just knew it. It was Lily, my precious angel. I screamed for my baby as Kim relayed the story, and basically around 12, Bella came back saying that she left some stuff of hers in the guest bedroom. Kim did not know her, nor she knew about her staying with me. Bella was very persuasive, and she basically recalled everything she knew about me, even showing her pictures of us together to prove that she was my sister, and she was allowed inside of the house. You know, Kim was still unsure, so she went to call me. But during that time, Bella allegedly hit Kim on her head with a vase, and she doesn't remember what happened after. She woke up a few hours later only to find Lily gone and the house ransacked. She said immediately she called the police and then me. I knew that Kim was saying something, but her words started blurring and I tuned her out. Dark spots started to appear in front of my eyes, and the next thing I knew, I was lying on the couch while an officer was hovering over my head. Margaret saw me awake and she came crying, trying to console me. It's been 3 hours now since Bella took little Lily from me. Police have also found money, jewelry, and some clothing missing from the closet, but I don't care about it. I just want my baby back. She's only a few months old and has to be fed from time to time, or else she'll scream until she turns blue. She doesn't like when a stranger touches her, and only Kim and I can be enough to calm her down. With that, her screams are floating in my ear and it's torturing me. See, I don't know what Bella's thinking and what she aims to achieve from this, but I pray whenever she is, my baby is alright. Currently, the cops are looking for Bella and checking all the CCTV footage, just to see if they can spot her taking my baby. But, unfortunately, there's been no luck of this yet. My building's backdoor CCTV camera is broken, and there's also no recollection of her leaving the building from the front door, so she's basically completely MIA. I feel like ripping my hair out from frustration. Journaling has always helped, so Margaret recommended I write my feelings here. I don't know how or if this will help, but hey, here I am if anybody can please pray for my baby girl. Updates. Number 1. Hello, I'm back, and it's been 2 days since I last updated, and I got floods of messages about updates, so here you go. Good news! My baby girl was back in my hands 7 hours after searching, almost the same time as it took me to deliver her. I was so grateful to everybody who prayed, and I think I sniffed the hell out of that little girl. We took her to the ER first when she had all of her examinations, and I didn't let go of her for even a second. The nurses were annoyed, but when they heard the story, they let me hold the baby and my hands during the examination and all the testing. So, thankfully, all the tests were fine, albeit the monster did not feed my baby at all. 7 hours. For 7 hours, my baby was hungry and crying for her mom. And my pathetic excuse of a sister let her be. She didn't even give her the formula, and I knew the world is no good of a place, but this is another type of evil. Lily is a baby. Just a baby. And no matter how much she hated me, the fact that she took it out on my daughter? I've been crying nonstop since Lily came back. I haven't even gone to the bathroom yet because I'm scared that if I leave the room, she'll disappear again. Margaret and Aaron are staying with me for the time being, offering me protection and help if needed. Having Aaron in my house is sort of comforting. He's a buff guy, and despite his age, looks intimidating. Unlike his son, he's also shed tears when Lily returned, and now he vows that he will never let his princess be in harm's way. My mother and stepdad could not come due to some issues, but they'll visit us tomorrow, and my mom will probably stay for a while. My nanny, Kim, was also discharged from the ER yesterday. She had a concussion, but luckily no serious head injury. She was so apologetic and was crying nonstop. I know you were all not happy about her letting a stranger in the house, and when I wrote the post I could not clarify, but Kim did not deliberately let Bella in. She went to grab her phone to call me when Bella somehow entered the apartment and hit her with a vase. I absolutely don't blame her at all. If anything, she was a victim too. I know you guys would probably want an update on Bella, and I'm in no headspace to talk about her, but I'm pressing charges and will deal with her later on. So, the cops arrested her red-handed, so evidence is not an issue. I don't know the sentences that she'll get, but I've contacted a very high-profile attorney. And he's just going to make sure she stays locked up for a long time. Right now, I'm just trying to relax with my Lily. I haven't slept properly since Lily was kidnapped, and that's why if all words seem unhinged, it's just my brain fog. I'm so tired, but I know that it's not over, so please keep me and Lily in your prayers and wishes. Updates number 2. Hey guys, well, I'm back for one more update. I can't believe it, I just can't. I'm so tired, I just need a break from all this stupid drama and stress. I feel like ripping my hair out. I can't believe I was even married to him, this cruel man. So it's been a day since my last update, and I found something crazy about my soon-to-be ex-husband Murphy. So I'm here to update it. After Lily was taken, I knew that Margaret was in contact with Murphy and she kept him updated, but as far as we knew, he didn't respond to much. Only said, okay, when she returned. Margaret was begging for him to reveal if he knew anything about Bella or her existence, but he kept on repeating that they broke up. That was the last time any of us had any contact with him. Since I had no contact order, my lawyer did send out an emergency letter to his address about potentially meeting Lily, but there was no reply by letter, at least. But yeah, Murphy did decide to come pay a visit to us at 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't know how, but I slept and I woke up to banging noises from the hallway. Aaron was there too, so he took the charge, and when he opened the door for Murphy, my stupid idiotic ex jumped on his father and tried to run towards me. He threw a bottle of empty beer at me. I knew the moment I looked into his eyes that he was under the influence of something, but that does not mitigate the fact that he pushed his father and tried to harm us. Margaret tried to stop and intervene, and I called the cops, but my neighbors heard the commotion and came to help. They restrained Murphy till the cops arrived while Margaret and I were locked in the room with Lily. So, I was hearing his curses at me, how I ruined his life, how I prevented him from having a baby throughout our marriage, that Lily was not even his and I stepped outside of the marriage first. I mean, the projection in this was wild, but even then it hurt. It hurt because he was the same guy I fell in love with and was happy with just a year ago. Then he did something worse. He confessed that he prompted Bella to kidnap Lily, and now the love of his life Bella's behind bars while I get to be happy and reunited with my baby. I couldn't believe he just did this to me. How can someone be so cruel? He was the same man who loved me, or at least pretended to love me, for the past decade. He was there with me every step of my life. He held me when I cried and laughed, and he prayed with me for a miracle baby like Lily. And now that I had her, he tried to steal her from me, huh? Well, the cops arrived soon after I was consoling Margaret. I feel so bad for her. I mean, she's losing her son too, and his confession broke something in her. She's not been the same since last night. Anyways, the cops arrest him for battery, and since he just literally confessed to a room full of people, he's now getting charged with abetting in the kidnapping. I don't know what I want to do now. Life just seems like it's getting worse every second of the day, and I just moved into this new place, and it's been the 2 worst nights of my life. I don't want to move again, but it seems like living alone is not an option anymore. Every day feels like walking on eggshells, where anything can happen to my baby. I don't know if this awful feeling can ever go away, but I hope that it does. I just can't keep living like this. I have an emergency therapy session tomorrow, so I'll probably vent about it there. I want to be better and stronger for my baby, but this has all left me so emotionally drained. Updates. Number 3. Hello, hey guys, I'm back, right, for this final update. It's been 5 months and not a lot has happened with my drama-filled life, but still I got a few answers and a possible closure. I'm doing better, sort of at least. Lily is the only source of happiness, and she's learning how to walk and can crawl perfectly now. She's so advanced at her age, honestly. Anywho, the worst part, right? My mother-in-law and father-in-law completely cut contact with Murphy after his little, how they call it, little, incident, as well as my parents from Bella. Still, Margaret wanted answers. So without telling any of us, she just talked to him when he was being escorted out of the courtroom during one of our lawsuit dates. Apparently, my cheating, lying, manipulative ex-husband and stepsister were jealous. Yup, they were jealous I was happy with my new life, and that's why they stole my 4-month-old, because they couldn't handle it. After their affair went public, most of our friends and parents cut contact with them. Last I heard, my stepfather cut Bella off, while Margaret and Aaron also refused to help Murphy in any sort of way. Well, considering Bella was an unemployed college dropout and he had a minimum wage job, money was already tight on their end, so they started to look around and saw me, the person they ruined the life of, getting better and better. Murphy says he's got jealous because during our marriage I treated him as a king. And seeing how I was able to live so happily without him was just the, quote, worst form of betrayal. I know, I snickered at this one. Of all the lies he's told me previously, this was one anything but a lie. I treated him like a king, as if he were my life, and I needed him to breathe. But in the end, he cut me so deep that I lost myself for months. I don't like to use metaphors, but after the separation, I felt like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Murphy didn't tell Margaret everything, but Bella sure did in her testimony in front of the court. It was hard to hear such harsh words from my own sister, but the day I saw, well, what she actually was, it was over. I was ready to leave this all behind, only to be dragged back into it by these two geniuses. I don't know what they were thinking about taking my girl. Murphy has met her only 3 times, and one of them when he literally took her. If he wanted to meet her or have a bond with her, he only needs to have a text. I was ready for them to have a relationship. All he had to do was text me. But no, that idiot didn't want his daughter. He only wanted to steal my happiness. And Bella. All I can say is that I hope, well, her love spell stays on, because that'll be the worst possible ending for her. How cruel can she be to steal a baby from her mother because she wanted to take away what was mine? First my husband and then my baby. Well, I did press charges, and the court dates are underway, and since the case is still in progress, I can't share the info. But my lawyers have assured me that they'll meet their fate soon enough, and you bet I'm counting down the days till justice is served.
Guys, let's check out these 2 comments about today's story. Comment 1 says, "What the actual hell? What were these people thinking? They both aren't the 2 brightest peas in the pod, are they? Anyways, I'm glad that you got your baby back. OP, it's actually better for you to cut these stupid people out of your life completely because they're toxic. I hope you have a good life now. Take care and have good health." Comment 2, "No. As soon as that witch came to my workplace, I would have thrown up my hands, baby. Sister or not, if you betray me, I'll take revenge. I don't get how you could have been so stupid as to let her in your life again. You're blaming them for everything, but what can you expect from such an evil person? You're the one to blame, because how could you trust your sister after all of that?" Well, I hate to admit it, but I think comment 2 has a point. Why would you trust her? Anyways, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I can't really say exactly what I would do. But guys, let's talk about it down below in the comment section. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. And of course, remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.